Star Wars Jedi. Survivor has 5 different lightsaber stances available to players, and one of them is the best way to approach the game. When players first step into Star Wars Jedi Survivor, they are given 3 lightsaber stances to choose from: single, dual wield, and double-bladed. On top of those, there are 2 other stances the players have to unlock to access. One of them introduces a custom upgrade to Cal's lightsaber that gives it a Crossguard stance, a heavier but stronger approach to combat. The more entertaining approach, though, is the blaster stance, which allows players to incorporate ranged gunplay into their close-quarter combat. Blaster stance is a game-changer and the best way to approach combat from a new angle, reinforcing the themes of the game while allowing players to take down threats with a different combat style that still feels at home in the core gameplay. Here's how to unlock the blaster stance and why it's such a fun way to play the game. How to unlock the blaster stance. The blaster stance is the 4th lightsaber stance players gain access to in Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It's unlocked after Cal Kestis makes his way to the world of Jedha and locates old allies like Cere. After receiving a new mission to explore possible former haunts of the villainous Dogon Gera, Bode will rush to the player and gift him a lucky blaster as a token of their friendship. The blaster stance is a serious change for players who adapt to it, as it presents a new approach to combat that focuses on keeping the player's distance from threats. The blaster itself has a finite number of shots, which can be upgraded in the skill tree that refills with successful lightsaber strikes. Similar in function to refilling the player's force meter through standard attacks, the blaster itself can be upgraded as well. After players are introduced to the bounty hunter cage Vanda and gain the ability to hunt down bounty hunters, they can purchase upgrades for the blaster that provide more customization options, including ones that create ricochet shots or induce a stun effect on enemies. It's a powerful shift and a fun turn for the game to take. Why blaster stance is Star Wars Jedi Survivor's best combat option. The blaster stance completely changes the trajectory of Star Wars Jedi Survivor's combat, and for the better. The stance still relies on good timing to parry physical blows, but it makes Cal's combat style more focused and pointed. Dual-wielding the blaster and the lightsaber, Cal's swings and strikes become more precise slashes and stabs, creating a more focused approach. Some of the abilities unlockable in this stance create a greater distance between the player and enemies, giving the player breathing room between attacks. The blaster itself is a genuine shift, making previously nigh-impossible fights less daunting. Flying enemies lose their greatest advantage, and larger threats like the Rancor can be approached with a more strategic mindset. The reliance on successful attacks to effectively reload the blaster prevents players from merely spamming the ability, keeping the focus on adapting to the enemy and playing to their weaknesses, whether that's either creating distance to chip away at them or relying on a series of quick and harsh blows to take them down. Blaster stance changes more than just pure combat. Blending it with gameplay elements does wonders for the experience. The blast has an impressive range that auto-locks onto enemies, making it a key tool in dispatching minor enemies by surprise, allowing players to indulge in some more stealthy approaches to danger. Abilities like the Force Push gain a new edge with a blaster involved, creating ways to string together unexpected combos that genuinely make players feel powerful. The blaster also vibes extremely well with the game's overall storyline and tone, highlighting the desperation and increasingly ruthless approach to enemies Cal has been forced to take to survive. That, plus its utility and pure fun, makes blaster stance easily the best of Jedi Survivor's lightsaber stances.